y'all. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going, y'all? Oh, y'all are rolling on in here. I need all this energy. Hello. How's it going? Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Good night. Look, how's it going?
Good eye. How you doing?
Man, this I don't know if I've had a normal week since 2022. Have you had a normal week since this like whole year started and we're almost about to be out of this year soon? Like, have you had a normal year?
My life is pretty predictable. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My life is I see clients on sometimes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm teaching my classes Thursday, Friday, sometimes on Saturday. Um, my days are full, but it's rewarding. My days are very rewarding. Um, I wouldn't, there's no other place I'd rather be. There's no other type of people I would like to have around me. There's nothing else I would rather do than what I'm doing right now. And I can't believe I actually get paid for it.
Mm.
So I don't know. Life is pretty good.
I
What?
guess I think
It
every
could be
week
worse.
yes, I think every week I show up for the entrepreneur that's in their not building phases of business, but like expansion phase and, just constantly wondering like, God, can I even do all this? There's just so many things that get thrown your way. I know probably your husband, Dr. Boyce, like you probably see the things that just happen day to day. It's just always something. And
Yeah, it's always something, but he kind of goes with it. He's like, okay, what's the problem this week? What we got to deal with this week? But we take out time for each other. We definitely take out time for ourselves, just individually without each other, because that's important. His office is right next to mine, so we're together all the time. So we do give each other space, but at the same time, we do a lot of fun stuff together, and it's great. Two entrepreneurs right here in one little spot. We will take our time and coordinate our schedules. Today we went running. We ran for 3 miles. Um, we're doing a detox, a 5-day detox. So we do fun stuff together. We travel all the time. Life is good.
yeah, I'm gonna get there in 20 something years. I'm feeling it.
No, you can be there today, right at this moment.
Okay.
It can happen to you in an instant, and it looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
So it has to be Jazz's place in life where you just know you're where you need to be.
Right. Okay. I'll
And
think
that's your wait. What's your tagline? I can't remember.
which one. I got a
You
tagline
gotta
for everything.
okay. Name your taglines. Wait, I hate that
Walk
I
by faith.
forgot.
Walk by
There you
faith.
go. That's it. Walk by faith. There you
I'm
go.
in
You
a
walking by
very
faith.
he has me in a very stretched season. Like this
Yeah.
season, like no other season, is a very stretched season. Literally.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And going to the conference really brought about so many new people that I got to meet, so many business connections. Like, it's just so much. Like, and we're finally, like, what, at a month or so from the conference. So, like, everybody that didn't reach out, they're reaching out. So, it's just I'm just in a different season. I don't know. It's been
So
different.
now wait. Speaking of conference, you're not coming to the All Black National Convention, are you?
So
You have a wedding.
I was just talking to Christian about that, Christian Kegler,
Yes.
and I was just talking to him about that. I do have a wedding. So if it wasn't for that, I would definitely be there. So you can count me in for all things the voices next year. Okay. And I
Okay.
know you
All
and I
right.
gonna do a speed dating. So count me in.
Oh, that is okay. All right.
Count
Yeah.
me in.
Is Christian's gonna make it?
I can text him and ask. I did talk to him today. He was just like, if Dr. Boyce, you know, hires me as the videographer and photographer, I'll be there.
Woo, you better get a hold of them soon. I think they finalizing everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure to text them. You know, I'm talking to the kid. You know what's going on, so I'll text Christian and make sure he knows, like, to get in on that. Are you excited for that conference? We should talk about that a little bit. Now that we're on that topic.
Yeah, I am excited. I had a meeting today with the team, and it's exciting. We got really great speakers. Um, Friday is going to be, I believe, where the VIP President Circle people meet with Boyce, and he's going to meet with he meets with people weekly for a book club. So he's going to
Okay.
meet with the book club people, and I think his prime students. So he'll meet with them, I think, on Friday. I'm having speed dating on Friday. I don't know if the schedule is up necessarily, but Saturday is all about business and entrepreneurship and a whole bunch of stuff I know nothing about. So I'm going to be in the audience taking notes. And that's Saturday. And Saturday night is the ball.
Okay.
So we're doing an awards ball, B1 ball and awards. And then I'm going to be partying. And then Sunday is about family, the Black family. I don't know if it's up yet. I don't even know if people know what's going on.
I
But Sunday,
checked.
and it's not, the schedule's not up, but they're going to put it
Okay.
up soon.
Yeah,
They'll put
I
it up
want to
soon.
say just the registration.
Okay, so that's now I don't know if I'm telling too much or whatever, but Sunday is when I'm going to do a panel, and I'm also doing a breakout session, and then I think that night, let's see what's going on that night. Oh, that night might be our red carpet. We have a red carpet movie premiere.
Okay.
That might be that night, or it might be on Friday. I can't remember. I think it's going to be on Sunday. So it's going to be full 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you
Yes.
go to my Instagram page, it's the first I just posted the flyers and stuff up on there. There's more flyers coming out, of course, but so
Yes.
there we go.
I'm
Yay.
excited. And
Mm-hmm.
on the Black Love note, you guys, welcome. I know if you're joining live from Instagram, from also YouTube, or anywhere that you're seeing this, make sure that you all are tapping in, following us on our social media handles, and also remembering why we started this. So my name's Jasmine Stith, aka the Pretty Plug, and I'm joined by
I am Dr. Alicia, and AKA, I guess, coaching with Dr. Alicia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're presenting the Drama Free Black Love series. And we birthed this series to raise awareness around healing and restoration of relationships within the Black community with a licensed therapist, aka Dr. Alicia. You guys, we have been going live week after week. Our first episode was it's your birthright for Black love. The second one, I had to have my own healing session because of the energy I was
Yes.
experiencing in Dallas. The next week we talked about, do you believe in Black love? Last week, I believe we talked about, should you, I want to say we got off topic. We were supposed to talk about, should you hire a matchmaker? But this week we're talking about the state of the Black family. And I want to go ahead and just like open up with a hot topic. Are you ready for this hot topic, Dr. Alicia?
Okay, hot topic. Give it to
Okay,
me.
so yesterday in my Facebook DMs, we love a good Facebook DM. This gentleman by the name of Nicholas, I won't say his whole name, he reached out to me and he was just like, listen, I don't believe in Black love. I don't believe that it exists. And I was like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
Lord, he said black on black love is not real. Now what would you say to that? I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my. And he was like, I've never seen a Black woman on my level or to understand a Black man in America. And then I was just asking him, what are your sentiments about that? And, he felt so strongly about the topics. I told him we would be going live today. So hopefully he does have a chance to come and join us.
I'd
But
love for him to join us.
yes, I
Mm-hmm.
really hope he can join us. And let me go to the message that he sent. He said, any level. I want a good soulful woman that loves her man. I cook, clean, and literally do everything for myself. So that way, that's the way my mother raised me. But to find someone who understands your value and give you back the same thing. So, Dr. Alicia, that's our icebreaker. You know, this gentleman reached out kindly, didn't have, wasn't mean. He was said black on black love is not real. What you got to say about that one?
Yeah, it reminds me, I put a post up on my Instagram
Okay.
account. Wait, let me try to find what I wrote. I can't even remember half the stuff I write. But I put up something on my Instagram. Let me go to it on my computer. And it was about, oh wait, hold on. Okay, I put something up on my Instagram about the dynamic issues between male and female relationships in the Black community. And it was basically talked about issues of sexism and racism uniquely impact Black men and Black women and how they relate to each other. And what's happening is that what a lot of scholars are now saying in the field who work with couples, so they work with all couples, but there was something very unique about the African American couples they were working with. And one thing that was noted that was very unique about those two couples is that there's issues of racism and sexism that uniquely impacts the relationship between Black men and Black women. And someone asked on my page, is this racism coming from inside the relationship or is this racism coming from outside? And my answer was it's both, because what was happening is that Black men who are in relationships with Black women are on the receiving end of stereotypical ideas about Black men. So somehow, us as Black women, we are looking at Black men in our relationships and we're putting on them all of the stereotypes about Black men, that they're irresponsible, that they can't be trusted, that they're lying all the time, all the things that our grandmamas used to enforce in us, don't be trusting those men out there and all of that. Also, for a lot of Black men, they're looking at us in relationships and they're putting those stereotypes on us. And they're saying, oh, you just think that you're just a single Black woman and you don't need no man and all of this. And when we really kind of delve into that, that's not really what's happening. It's just that we're throwing these stereotypes in our houses, in our relationships. We're hitting each other with these stereotypes. So not only are we battling negative stereotypes outside of our homes, but when we're inside of our homes, we're also battling these negative stereotypes inside of our home. And for Black men, if you feel like you're not quite empowered outside of the home, a way of asserting your power inside of the home, this is just an example, a way of asserting your power inside of the home is to try to force male dominance on your spouse by saying, well, you need to cook, you need to do all the cooking and all the cleaning, and just let me sit on the couch and watch television. So what they're finding is that not only is it sexist, but it's also racist. And Black women too, I'm just giving examples. And that sort of dynamic is what makes it uniquely difficult for Black men and women. Now, of course, you can look at some of that and say there's no such thing as Black love, right? But I think these conversations need to be had, and we need to tease all of these things out so that we can get down to the bottom of it. And on the other hand, there are Black men and women who are in relationships and married to each other, and it's going quite well. There are a lot of instances like that. Maybe there's like conflict here and there, and we need to sort through things. But for the most part, there is a such thing as black men and women getting together and it turning out okay. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I know there's a lot of people who've seen it. So, however, when problems arise, it tends to look uniquely like that for Black families.
So you're basically saying because we all have a certain skin tone, like we face so many different realities when we walk outside our home. And when we come
Mm-hmm.
back in our home, we try to establish whatever type of respect, peace,
Mm-hmm.
like leadership, whatever we couldn't get out on the outside world, we try to get it when we come home. And all of those expectations and all of those stereotypes and all of the things of, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you ain't, what I'm not, they're
We're
just
placing
all
it on
like,
each other
yeah,
in the
we're just
home.
doing it on each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I don't think I ever looked at it that way.
Yeah.
I do know that we all have so many complexities when we leave our house. And we have so many complexities when we come in our house too. So I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to know, like, Dr. Alicia, what does it mean to be a Black family? Can you be a Black family if you mix relations? Like, what is that? What's the definition of Black family? Like, what is that?
Well, what do you mean mixed relations?
Like,
I'm
let's say if
curious
you
about
have a
that.
white, yeah, if you have a white mom and a Black dad, or a Black mom and a white dad, like, do you consider that a Black family? Or like, what do you consider like the Black family, and like, what does that actually look like? Because there are so many different forms of family. Even in my family, I have Afro Latina. Like, what does Black family really mean to like just set the tone of the conversation?
Um, well, it's kind of a broad question.
Yes.
I think traditionally, the Black family doesn't mean the same as it does for white families.
Mm.
I think that in Black families, extended family members are considered. You want to talk about your immediate family and extended family. Well, in our community, extended family, that's like immediate family. So the definitions of who and what we call family is so different. I mean, to have a cousin, I mean, I grew up with cousins and we grew up like brother and sister. There was
Mm.
no difference. We hung out with each other and spent time with each other. I don't know the difference between my cousins and my brother. Like we all might as well be brother and sister. So, and I
Mm.
know that that's unique to us.
Yeah.
I also think that there are cousins I have right now that it wasn't until I got much older that I realized they aren't even related to me, biologically related to me. All my whole life, it was like cousin Pam. I got a cousin Pam, cousin Pam, cousin so and so. And I thought they were really my cousin, but they were not. And until I got older, they're not even related to me at all. Her mom and my mom were best friends, and that's my cousin. And her mom and my mom were sisters, and we all vacationed together and hung out with each other. So there was no difference. So I think that's healthy because when they say it takes a village, I mean, I think it really does. And like, if something happened in my family, and I know you could probably talk about it too, Jazz, something happened, like all the men would get together and solve it. It'd be
Mm.
like they would treat their nieces and nephews. I got treated like they were my dad. All of us got treated sort of the same, and we all get the same. And grandma, my maternal grandparents, no, my paternal, my dad's parents, and my mom's mom. Um, my mom's father died when she was young,
Mm.
but they were very important in my life and growing up. They took a big interest in their grandchildren, and and they helped to raise all of us. So yeah, I think the Black family, it traditionally is a really nice and healthy concept. It's not so sterile, and it's like husband, wife, children. I'll see you at Christmas, and that's the end of it. No, a lot of traditionally Black families are way more encompassing. If cousin got a problem, we all got a problem. We all gonna band together and fix it, you know. We all.
Yeah.
So that's how, that's how I grew up. And of course, a lot of that comes out of slavery and that mentality, having those family reunions, reconnecting, and family is just so important because families were totally, fragmented for such a long time that if anybody, we appreciate that. What was it like for you, Jazz?
Let me tell you, I grew up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Both of my mom and my dad both lost their fathers when, like, my dad lost his dad when he was a teenager, and my mom lost her dad when she was like in her 20s, maybe early 30s. So like both of my parents grew up without a parent. They both had their mom though.
Okay.
And so what I was raised, I have my mom, she's a twin, and there are so many siblings. And then my dad has siblings. But I want to say that my parents were introverted. And the reason why I'm saying my parents were introverted is because they were very close, I guess, to one another. But when it came to their families, it's just like it wasn't such a pressing issue. Now, my grandmother moved to Dallas, and then my aunties, they also lived in Dallas. So eventually, my mom wanted to be near all my family in Dallas. But if you go down, and my father, he's still in Arkansas because his family is still in Arkansas. And again, my parents were divorced when I was 7. So it's just like, I've never seen like the whole conglomerate
Oh,
situation.
okay. What
So
about your friends? Did you see any of it with your friends?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think majority of my friends had pretty, I won't call it broken families, but like they had stepfathers or like they didn't have the dad in the home. Like, I didn't grow up with, I guess, the typical, like, I had friends and their parents were married for X amount of years. Like, I think in college, I met people and their parents were together for so long, and I could tell like
Interesting.
their journey in college was a little bit different from like if you come from like a single parent or one parent home, but I won't say that I grew up with like everything that a Black family would have. I had a family. I have siblings and I have a family, but us working together collectively looks so different and much different than what you may have described. But at the same time, I know that if, my parents, they did the very best they could, and I'm not going to shade them in any capacity because it's hard being an adult. But I will say, like, I pray that when God does bless me with my family, we are able to instill new principles, new traditions, and not even new cultures, but to really embrace the culture that we always had, but that was taken from us. I even plan to, I've already been to Africa once, but I plan to convert a piece of me. Why not be a piece of Ghana, Nigeria, or something? Like, why not? I plan to convert just to make sure that I honor my ancestors that came all the way, that were originally here, and like I may have got here sooner, but I just think it's going to be such a beautiful experience to like really know and trace back my roots to as much as I can, you know.
Yeah, I think what I love what you're saying is you talked about I want to create my new version. And when I meet with couples and they come from two different backgrounds, of course, right? Even if they come from the same background, similar background, it's still something of a negotiation. I think that when you get together, you can create whatever you want for your family.
Yeah.
You could say, you know what, here's part of my family that I really love, and it's a tradition, it's something that I'd like to incorporate in our family. But there's some pieces about my family we could just leave and let that go. We don't have to carry that along with us.
Yeah.
And then you could tell me there's pieces of your family that I really enjoy. Let's keep this going. And then the rest of the stuff we don't like, you can throw away. So I think that's the beauty of it, where you can cherry pick what you want and create for your family, whatever it is, even given some, what I laid out was a traditional Black family. And maybe I came from a very traditional Black family, but of course I'm much older than you. So I don't know, I'm a whole nother generation. So maybe this is dying out. This part is dying out, and that's unfortunate.
Well, with
And
our conversations, we're bringing it back up.
yeah, yeah.
We're bringing it back up. Like, what traditions do you celebrate or that you've embraced with your family?
We used to, I mean, Christmas was, birthdays and Christmas was a huge, big deal. And I know it's not, it was strange because I started talking to other people, and like some people, I'm like, your birthday, when your birthday comes around, oh no, you get a party, no matter how old you are. In my family, you're going to get a party, a cake, you're going to get socks, you're going to
You're
get a
gonna get
fresh pair of
something.
socks,
You're gonna get
maybe
something.
$5 in the card, you're going to get something. We'll give you our last penny. It's gonna be fried chicken and spaghetti and a box cake. You would get a box cake growing up. And so that's something I want to keep. I love that part, like low key house parties. I love house parties. So, whenever it's Boyce's birthday or my birthday, it's just a house. We just open up the house and have a house party. So that was like big for me. Old school house. We don't have to go to a fancy restaurant. We don't have to do anything over the top. We're just gonna get together and sit and talk and play cards and play bid. We play bid whiz and talk and then get real loud with each other. But that's how, my family is. And so, yeah, I mean, that's important. Christmas is important. I know on my dad's side of the family, his mom is from New Orleans area, Mississippi. She's from Mississippi, but New Orleans area. So, she would make gumbo every year, once a year, seafood gumbo. Now my cousin has the recipe, so she's got to make the gumbo. So, we blend in all my different backgrounds. I guess Creole, I think you
Mm.
would call it. I don't know, but the New Orleans side of my family.
Okay.
um, yeah, and that stuff is important. How about you? What traditions?
So I plan to marry an entrepreneur. I know it's in there. I believe that's going to happen for me. That way, every day is whatever we make it to be. And that means that when we raise our family, we'll be invested in their educational process. We'll be able to see their milestones. When I was growing up, my parents did have to work a lot. And so it's just like my sister, she has two nieces. And so I put my nieces on my Instagram this weekend, and it was their fourth birthday. So it's like, I'm doing things with them. Like, I took them to the nail shop and I was like, y'all having a soft life.
Oh yeah.
You get a soft life, honey. Your ancestors, they did enough soft life for us. Okay. So it's like being very intentional with how the children are raised. Like my sister, she has a job and everything now, but she stayed at home with her babies up until like they were old enough to, go and do without her, where they are old enough to say, something's not right. So I plan to be very invested in my family. Like one of my big goals is to be a mommy influencer. I'm gonna get there one day.
Oh,
And
okay.
and it's just to like have a very open family where we get to share like what happens, but also just like live our life out loud. Like I feel like that's different from what I've seen is, everything's so under the covers, and why put your business out there, and why. And it's just like for me, I help so many people by just showing up every day and sharing the things that I learn, or, to sharing the good word or the good news of the Lord Jesus. So it's
Jesus.
just like,
Yeah.
I want to be able to continue to instill that with the family that I have, which is we will live our life out loud. I want that for me. I want a TikTok hubby. I deserve to do a TikTok. I genuinely do.
There you go. And
Um,
you will find your
I
TikTok hubby.
will. I
And the thing,
will.
you have to know it and believe it. And like as you're talking, I'm thinking about that guy who DM'd you. Like he's carrying around with him those stereotypes
Yeah.
about Black women.
Yeah.
And as long as you carry those stereotypes, you're going to see Black women through that negative lens. And so that will always going to show up for him.
Yeah.
That's what's always going to show up for him. Women that fit that stereotype, because that's his lens. Like I got to wear my glasses right now because it's allergy season. And so, I have to put these glasses on, and what I see, my vision, that's, it's these glasses, the doctor programmed these glasses so that I can see, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what he's doing. He's putting on glasses on top of his eyes, and that's all he can see is Black women through these stereotypical lenses. And he's got to let go of that, or he will never find a woman for himself unless he lets go of that.
Well, how do you practically let go? When you have certain beliefs or certain systems or ideologies that you hold on to, how do
Mm-hmm.
you begin to unlearn what doesn't necessarily get you the results that you want?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, because I think, first of all, you need to write down all the stereotypes that you have. You need to the first thing to do is to look at it and label it. What are all the stereotypes that I'm holding around about Black men? What are all of the thoughts that I'm holding around about Black women? Just the thought of going on a date with a Black man. What automatically comes to your mind? You need to write them down, and you need to identify who told you this.
Yeah.
Who told you? Go to each line, write down 5 things that you think about right before you go on a date with a significant other. Write it down, all the negative thoughts, and identify for each negative thought that you have. Ask yourself the question, where did this come from? Who told me this? And put a name on it, label it. I do this with my clients a lot. They're like, tell me where these negative thoughts come from. Label the person who told you this, because whoever told you this lied to you.
Mm,
None of that is true.
mm, man.
And you need to have a conversation with that person in your head, self-talk. And then you have to say, oh, sister so and so told me that. Okay, well, as soon as you come in contact with someone that you're interested in, when those negative thoughts come up, you need to say, look, not today. Not today. I know you're trying to give me these negative thoughts. You need to say goodbye. And you minimize and shrink it down, and you'll see marvelous changes in your life just by controlling your thinking. Because remember, as you think, so be it.
Yes. Um,
We are so powerful. I think the issue is that we are so powerful. We as humans, especially as Black people, we're powerful. The problem is that we don't know it.
yeah.
Other people know it because other people capitalize off of us and our power. The problem is that we don't know it. And so your power comes from what you think. And if you change your thinking, your world will change. It can't not change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
But that's just tip of the iceberg of what I talk with my clients about. Because what it does, the negative thinking, you know what else it does to you? It makes you sad.
Mm,
It makes you depressed. It makes you angry. It makes you moody. So nobody want to be with you anyway. You're negative. You negative, all the negative thinking, those thoughts that come to your mind. Nobody wants to be around some negative Nancy. It's just like they see you coming, they walk the other way. I don't want to be around all that.
yeah. And I think also what I'm hearing you say is whatever it is that you want, you can have, but if you
You're
have limiting
limitless.
beliefs, you won't have it. So what you said is like when you list it down in my coaching session, I'm like, these are your limiting beliefs. This is what's holding you back. This is like you said, the lies that you believed about what it is about yourself. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dr. Alicia. There's this thing happening on TikTok. I get all the latest news on TikTok, okay?
Okay.
And it's talking about the high performing Black woman. And
Mm-hmm.
pretty much
Mm-hmm.
because of what she had to do to survive, she's now at this stagnate dating pool situation that ultimately, like, how do you help the woman that has it all financially and in her career, but she's lacking the man. You know, what do you
Mhm.
tell her? Because technically, I don't think it's something that she has to unlearn or learn, but some what I'm seeing on TikTok, it's just like they're putting a label to it now, and it's like, how do we get on the same page with our black men and our black women so that we can have the black family?
You know what? So, what is the thought on Tiki Talk? The
Yes,
thought is that I
so
want to make sure I get it right. The
yeah,
thought
it's
is that
just
there's black women on Tiki Talk who are saying, "I got everything, but I don't have no man."
yes. Yes, and they
Interesting.
are the high performing black women that we rave about on having the businesses, having the home. You know, they have essentially what it takes to like provide for themselves or sustain themselves because they were told to go to school and get the job and, you know, provide for
Mm-hmm.
yourself because they probably were raised by the single mom or the single
Well,
dad or
my dad raised me too, and he told me he told me to be ambitious. He encouraged me. He didn't tell me, he didn't give me messages like you need to just marry a man and have his babies. Like my dad was like, go for it, whatever you want. So yeah,
so.
I got those messages from my mom and dad, and I learned from what they did. I,
Yeah.
I didn't really learn from what they said. Like they didn't really tell me much of anything. I just knew what to do because they modeled for me. But I don't know what to say for women who are having a difficult time. I mean, I will say that it's legitimate because even on my matchmaking, I'm doing matchmaking. There's way more women signing up for matchmaking than men signing up. So I don't know why men aren't signing up so much, whatever it is. I don't know what the barrier is. I don't know if they're afraid or if they're intimidated. Maybe they're intimidated. I have no idea. Maybe they just don't need it because they got like a big selection. I know when I was in college, it was difficult because college campuses hardly had any black men. There were no black men, hardly on college campuses. It was also to a ton of us as black women. We were going to school, making A's. We were getting it. So it is a very real thing. However, um, it's just, I think, I was talking to a young lady today, and I was just saying, you got to form some hobbies. Find yourself. You know, I know here in Chicago, if I was single in Chicago, I'd say you need to join. Like I'm interested in running. Join the run club. There's a black run club here. Join social organizations. Join book clubs. Get out there and participate in interest groups.
So
Uh huh.
so maybe it's not that. How do we engage with the black men? Like you coach them and you know you hear from them, so it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, do you say in their DMs like, hey, you're really cute to me, or you know, hi, like I'm interested? Like, how do we actually begin that conversation? Because I think that men and women are just scared to talk to each other right now, if I'm
They
honest.
probably. Uh huh.
We're
Uh
just,
huh.
I think the generation is just completely frightened to just engage, and they're like, nope, you're giving red flags, blocking you, you're not doing this, and I already know that this is gonna hurt me in the future. Like, it's just the cutoff is just so real. So
Oh,
it's just like,
really?
yeah, and that won't get us the black family. Like, if
Yeah.
we don't learn how to like actually engage with one another, we
Mm-hmm.
won't get the black family. So somebody put in the chat, and again, you all, thank you all for being here tonight with us. We have Mr. Elias Morpheus. He says nobody wants high performing women. That don't even sound good. Learn your men and be what he wants if you could. Also learn from the mother and from married women. What do you have to
Oh
say
my
about that?
goodness. High performing. I think I would be considered a high performing woman. And there are a lot of guys that want to talk. Like I was single for a while, There are a lot of guys want to talk to me. I was like, ooh, okay, over here. So I don't know. Like I guess because I've been married twice already and all of that. So I don't think there's anything special about me. I think anybody and everybody.
Where are
Um,
you? Do you have an inviting spirit about yourself? Like when you're on that run club, are you like, hi, how's it going?
no,
You
oh
know,
God,
like what
no,
were you
no, no,
doing
no.
in
I
that
was just
moment?
interested in just, you know what I'm doing in the moment. I was just being myself and into the run. So I'm not in those situations, in social situations, actively looking for someone. I'm just in those situations, being me and focusing on the run.
Okay, but
But
Dr. Alicia, I'll speak up for the women in the back. And it
uh-huh.
has been said, like, we be in the house working from home, right? We go to the store, like, Lord, is he on aisle 5? Is he on aisle 7? Which aisle is he on? Okay, nobody talk to me. Another day, another moment of being by myself. So it's like, then you go get on the apps, and the apps, they
Yeah.
not giving what's supposed to be given. So now you go back to Target, and it's just like, how do you create that energy on the inside so that when you do go outside, maybe aisle 5 may have your husband? Because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people really ain't out. Like my age group, I'm 28, so like between like 26ish to like 30 to 40, like everybody's really grinding, they're building, they're trying to not play catch up, but we're trying to like make sure our 30s and 40s are halfway sustainable. But it's just like we out in Target on aisle 5 praying that somebody just come sweep us off our feet.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, that is a strategy. Definitely making your intentions very clear, getting on the apps. And I know a lot of people who met on the apps. You could, of course, oh, there's my cousin. My
Hey,
cousin just
cousin.
joined. Hey, cuz. Anyway, so she should, you know what? Hey, Jess, you need to join us. Can we,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
invite her in?
Yes, of course. And
Because
somebody
she's
asked,
been dating.
how can you tell the difference between red flags versus something we can work through? That's such a good question. That is
Can you
such
put
a good question.
Okay, wait. How can you what? Tell the red flags?
Yeah, so basically, and you want Adorn Knittel? Which one?
Yes, international, Adorn International.
Adorn.
See if she'll join.
Let me ask Adorn International to come on up. So the question is, how can you tell the difference between red flags versus something we can work through?
Wait.
Hey, Jess,
Hey,
are
Hi,
you
how's it
listening to us?
going?
doing well.
You gotta ask Jess
Awesome.
because Jess is out on in the market
Well,
Oh,
dating.
not anymore.
oh, you got
Oh,
your man?
what? When did
I
you date?
I went backwards. I had to go way
Girl,
back.
girl, so you
Way
so you
back.
out of the
Wait,
dating
who
scene.
is
You not in cuffing season.
For now, I went to an oldie but goodie. I was
Oh,
going
you
with the
went
devil
you went
you
with you got with your ex.
an ex. Yeah, the devil
Oh,
you know
okay.
is better than these devils that I didn't know.
Wow. That's interesting. That's an interesting
Yeah.
complexity.
well, good
As
luck to
long as you're
you. I can't
happy,
wait to talk to you to see
So far,
what
so good.
as
So
long as
far,
you're
so good.
happy. I'm not here to judge. As long as you're happy, and at the end of the day, like, to be honest, I think everything in relationships, when y'all lock eyes and you start having that connection and you start loving each other, everything is figure outable. I truly believe that. Now, I'm also divorced, so some things are not figure outable, but a lot of things are.
Right. Yeah,
So
I.
what
So,
is
Jess,
with
what
you
would you
figuring
have?
outable things over there?
What
I'm
advice would
sorry.
you have for Jasmine? What advice would you have for Jasmine? She's 28 and she is in Target looking around on aisle 5.
Baby, I'm on the chicken aisle, honey. I'm getting my chicken at Target.
Alicia knows it's rough. It's rough. Things have changed on the dating front. It was a lot of tomfoolery. It was a lot of.
But what, like, let's address it, right? Because, like, how we get Black families is, I guess, not call out the issue, but what do you consider the tomfoolery?
There's a huge array. You can't even pinpoint one thing. You think you have seen everything, and then there's somebody comes with something new. Seriously.
Oh, that is so funny. You're like,
Yeah.
what? You got this fetish? What fetish do you have?
Exactly. And I mean, it's wild. It's like the Wild West out there. I promise.
So is it like men not committing? Is it men committing but have another woman? Is it emotionally unaware? Is it don't really care? Like,
it's a combination. You can't say what you're gonna find in each person. Everybody it's an individual. I had one guy tell me we had only been talking for maybe 2 times we had talked on the phone. And I was saying, well, I'm dating. And he was like, oh, you're not going to put me in the lineup. I'm like, dude, sir, I don't know you. So how can we, you're not fixing to have me in the lineup. And I was like, whoa.
So okay, so I got a question. Let's dive deeper there. He was telling you his truth. He didn't want to be a part of your lineup. And so your context was
conversation. I mean, I was giving him my truth that I was dating, and I had only known him for a very short amount of time. I'm talking 2 conversations on the phone.
Right. So do
was
you
I
think
supposed to commit? Was it time to commit then?
What if he was actually saying, you know, hey, I'm spending this time, you know, if you're going to see other or talk to so many people, maybe that's not okay with me, but he didn't know how to say it.
True. But I could tell he had been traumatized because he had been in the lineup before.
Right, which is a common thing.
But I wasn't trying to, there was no lineup. It was just him. He was the only person I was talking to. But I was just letting him know we're going to keep it light for a while. You know what I mean? Till I get to know you.
Right. Do you think some affirmations could have been given to make him feel more comfortable with that you liked him, but you still wanted to take things slow?
I don't know what could have helped. I don't know what I didn't know what to do after he kind of snapped. It was kind of a snap off. It wasn't like a little light, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be in the lineup kind of thing. It was like a whole thing where I know something had happened in the past. So
yeah.
Jessica,
and I wasn't ready to, you know, I'm not the one. You know, you need to speak to your therapist about that. You need to get that taken care of and then start dating. I mean,
okay, because I'm almost thinking like, not that you did anything wrong, of course. Like, this is just us having girl talk at this time, but I be talking to so many men, not like on no dating stuff, but like they really just be having it hard with expressing themselves. And like, you know, it's almost like they may like you, but they be like, oh my God, I'm having this feeling right now. I don't know what this is. I'm like, oh, is it some butterflies or something? Like, you know, like it's almost like they don't have the language for their emotions. So when it comes out, it's like a grrr versus like, oh, I liked you and I wanted to talk with you exclusively without us being maybe in a relationship, but he just didn't say it right.
He wanted to move very quickly. As I learned, I didn't cut it off there. He wanted to move extremely fast. That, as I found out, 3 dates after that, we were 3 dates in. It was time to go on the 4th date. And he wanted to he was ready to. We grown, you know. It was time to sleep with it. I was like, I don't know you well. I'm not ready for that. I didn't feel, you know, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah. They
So
Did he
yeah,
respect that, or was
I
he
had
just
to.
like, no?
He said he did, but little things would come up, and it turned into a whole. I'm not willing to go into all my business here on the internet, but it turned into a whole really funky thing, and so I had to slowly back off. You know, it was. He said it was okay, that he would understand if I wasn't ready, but it turned into just again tomfoolery. It just turned into ridiculousness.
okay.
It
I
was
get
it was insulting. It was extremely insulting, you know.
Yeah, I
So
completely get it. You know, and so that's one of the things that low key Breeze 09 asked. She said,
Ah,
how can you tell the difference between red flags versus something we can work through? So for you, you was like, nah, I can't work through that. That's a no for me, dog. But like,
I could
what?
see some anger that was unwarranted. You know, that wasn't. It didn't match the
Right.
situation. You
yeah.
So
know.
And everybody you date is there. We all gonna have our baggage,
yeah,
and that's why the reason why you need to take it slow. I don't know why this guy was trying to speed up. You know, you need to take these relationships slow. And actually, a red flag is somebody that's trying to go too fast, too soon. That's a red flag. Because they're
Right.
trying to, what is it called, love bomb? They're trying to love bomb you, tell you, put you up on this pedestal. Oh, you're the best thing in the world. You're the most wonderful thing in the world, and you
This
can't
guy,
do
this,
no
this
wrong.
the other thing. He was like, "But don't let it go to your head." You know, like you said, put it. And I was like, "Don't ever say that again, sir. You don't even know me that well."
and let me tell you, I got
First,
some for
that was the
that.
first red flag, y'all.
I be for anybody that say that comment on like don't let it go to your head. I be like,
Give you a
but
compliment and then
I
don't let it go to your head.
yeah, I said
Okay.
this is what I say, but a car need gas to go, right?
Yeah,
Gas me up, or else I'm gonna be on E.
but that was my first. I was like, okay, but I addressed it. I was like, I wouldn't. You shouldn't say that to people. You know, you don't know me
Yeah.
well enough to know if I'm the type of person that it you know that it would go to my head. Get to know me better before you say something like that. I was like, because I was insulted, but it got worse.
Yeah. That was
It
a
got,
Oh, it
one
got
red
better.
flag and then way too many. Yeah. So and when you take it slow, if they want to go faster than you're more comfortable going, that's a red flag. Mm. Also, I think the reason why you need to take it slow because you do need to examine their baggage, and you have to go within and try to figure out, is this something I can deal with, or is this something that I need to let go? Because if you're with somebody, you marry somebody, you marrying their baggage. They take bringing that into the relationship, and you're bringing your own baggage in the relationship, and then you got to decide, like, this is just too much. I can't deal with this.
Mm.
Definitely physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, those things you just need to just, you know, nip that in the bud right away. Um, Particularly physical abuse, like that's violence, you know.
no,
So yeah, that's one thing. Getting mad and saying "shut up." That's not. People call that's not emotional abuse. That's just being rude. Okay, just people want to label emotional abuse. You told me to shut up. That's emotional abuse. Well, no, I mean that's rude, and you probably should apologize and know not to do that again. But I think, I think there is, you know, somebody really controlling over you is definitely a huge red flag, and manipulative and devious and untrustworthy. I mean, those are qualities you don't want to hang out with people. You don't even want people like that around you. That's how I would answer the red flag question.
Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I guess the next thing I want to ask everybody is, what misconceptions should, and this is for the audience, y'all, because we came to talk about the Black family. We came to talk about like what that looks like. Can we highlight one or two challenges that we all may collectively have experienced with our family and like how we overcame it, and or what we're looking to continuously overcome just with the Black family dynamic? And maybe it's just mentioning, this is a scenario in which this happened to us, but we were able to move forward from it and our family got better. Like to basically help other people that may be having family challenges. Because a lot of people do.
People do have family challenges, and I think it's just uh it it really is knowing that, when they say blood is thicker than water, it really is being able to set aside any differences, because you're always going to have differences, and know what's important.
Mm.
I think that's key. And sometimes, I talk to people all the time about their family, and um they'll complain about things, but usually if you're just spending holidays together, it's just limited. It's a limited amount of time that you spend with that person. So whatever it is, you can just manage it through Thanksgiving dinner and then go carry on with yourself, through that. But yeah, I think it is something really dynamic, and you just have to decide what kind of, if it's really toxic, if it's something that's violent and volatile. I mean, definitely you don't want to be around that kind of person. But I think that I think those things are important. What do you think, Jazz and Jess? This is Jasmine and Jessica. What do y'all think?
Do you want to go first, Miss Jessica?
No, you can go. Let me think about it for a second.
Okay, so I'll say that my first thing that I want to fix with my family or just in general is like communication and support.
Mm-hmm.
Communication and support. And sometimes we think like, let's go with the support topic first. Like support isn't always financial. Like support is just saying like, I have a level of concern about you. I'm calling you. I'm sending you a prayer. Like you can feel support. Even if someone cannot financially do anything, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, in my family, I know when I was being an engineer, I had lots of support. Uh, but whenever I stepped over into entrepreneurship, which is honestly something new, it's different. Social media didn't even exist for a very large portion of my family's life. And it's just like the support looks different. And it's just like the communication to be able to say, hey, this is what I need in this season, potentially, if you can give it. If you can't give it, I'm already trying my best not to have no expectation. But overall, like the communication to be able to express, hey, like as a family, I don't want to have all these other people that I don't know
Mm-hmm.
support me, but it's like, but y'all not. So like, again, that's not to put my family down. I'm just more real than the average person and gonna tell my business because I believe it's gonna help somebody else. But I'm just basically saying, like, for me, I know I can have a better, stronger Black family with communication and support. And again, support does not have to come out of your wallet.
Yeah, I mean, that is so true. Because, like, I don't know what I do without Jess. Like, I can't run my business without her for the most part. I'm like, oh my God, I could call her up and tell her. So she's my manager. She be helping me sell my little books. And we got some business. We need to go on. We got some more business stuff we need to do together to make some money. And I'm gonna call you. We need to have a business meeting coming up. So I don't know what I do. She's real good into fashion. So anybody need a stylist? Anybody need a stylist? You can hit up Jess. What's
Honey,
your
you want to split my
Instagram?
wig, baby? You can split mine.
In style. She majored in fashion. Did you major in fashion design?
Fashion merchandising. Yeah, fashion merchandising
Fashion
and design.
merchandising.
It's her hyping
Stylist.
you up for me and
Thank you.
giving you your flowers and really affirming you on the world wide web for me. And in return, how you said, I'll help you with your books, I'll help you with your hair, slaying with hair, like I think that's beautiful. Like that's strengthening the Black community more than you know. Just being an example. Like I'll join this live, even though, girl, I was in my bed chilling. Really was
I
just trying
will.
to
I
support you.
will.
But
True.
you know what? Our grandparents would be proud of us today, wouldn't they?
I think so.
Especially
I'm
grandpa.
sure.
Especially
I'm certain.
grandpa. Because grandpa would be like, okay. Because grandpa was all into business.
Let's see. This is such a good conversation. Is there anyone in the audience? One, I just have to say shout out to Just Call Me Doctor. She bought a badge, y'all. Thank y'all so much.
What is that? What does that mean?
A
About a
badge
badge?
is either 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99.
What?
Ah,
Girl, get your badge.
I think it's, I don't know how they do it with live. Maybe it gets split between all of us. I don't know.
You keep it. You keep the badge. You keep the 99 cents.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the badge. My question is there anyone in the audience that has a question? Maybe they're dealing with something in their Black family or in their family, and maybe they don't have anyone to express it. Is there anybody that wants to come up and just ask a therapist a question about and navigating a real life family situation? We love to see it and we love to talk, and this is the time. Look, as we wait.
Anybody have a question? Well, let's see who's in here with us.
Yeah, I just invited some
This
people.
this Cam I am. There's an Alicia Star. Welcome. Who else is in here? I don't know how to look at the
You see,
people. I'll let you call. I don't know Instagram very well.
So this Cam I
Which
am,
is fine.
Alexis Starr, Little Brown Village, Clearwater, 1711. Just call me Doctor. We got Alicia Gore. We have Ja, Ace 1125, Frog Court. It is my faith, and Dr. Evans J15. We've had
All
quite
right.
a bit of people to come in today. So the floor is open for questions, everybody. Even if it's questions on how to get your Black man or Black woman and get your Black family, because if we don't have a conversation, we a part of the problem.
So Jazz, what do you want for yourself? You want what do you want for real?
Girl, let me tell you, this season looking real different. It would be really nice to settle down,
Okay.
Dr. Alicia, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't even know my full potential right now. I don't know if I'm about to be flying around the world all 2023. I don't know if, business is about to do this and this and this. I am at that peak of God is doing whatever he's doing, which is stretching me in order for me to get to wherever he has me going. And I need a spiritual partner first. Somebody that's going to pray with me, love me, like there with the God. Okay. Then it ain't even about financial, it's emotional support. I'm a very emotional person. I feel things. It's what happens to people in the month of March. Darn us.
Okay. So you got that Pisces energy. You must
there
be
you
a Pisces.
go. I am very in tune with that. And also it's just like understanding like where I am today makes me qualified. If I don't make another dime tomorrow, if I don't bring anything other additional to the table but being myself, like that's enough to qualify me for deserving of love. And sometimes we try to quantify or qualify what makes somebody lovable, right? Are they making X amount of dollars? Are they at this point in their life. You know, I want a type of love where it's not about the money. It's about the purpose, and it's about the calling, and it's about like where we're going for the next 5, 10, 15. I'm a visionary. I have to be accepted for that. My big ideas and my big visions, and not to be like, nah, we just ain't gonna be doing this, or like to be attached to someone that doesn't have big goals. And I'm okay with waiting until I get that partner that is my purpose partner that can withstand my tests, and also I can withstand his test of time.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, this, you got a clear purpose. I see, you know, I just would recommend it will come.
Yeah.
I think it will come, and I think you should just live your life, even if you are traveling all over the place in 2023. I
They be
mean,
wanting
that's
to lock me down. They don't want me going nowhere. I'm trying to tell you.
what?
They be like, you need to be with me. And I be like, but I want to be free. It don't make sense
Wait, do you want to be
sometimes.
free, or do you want to? Well, I guess love is freedom.
Right, but like, hear me out. I'm in the South, Dr. Alicia. I'm in the South. These
So
men,
what,
they
they
want
just
you
want to
under
hold you
them.
down?
They want you to
Oh
pop and
God.
drop it.
Ooh. Well,
That's not what, doesn't sound like that's what you want.
What
that
I
don't
mean by
sound
that
like
is
it.
when they do settle down with you, they are wanting children and things of that nature. It's a very settled lifestyle here in the South.
Well, wait, are you saying you don't want children? You don't want
I
to settle down?
do.
Which is it?
I do want that. I'm just saying,
Uh-huh.
I'm a full-time entrepreneur. That looks completely different than someone that has a full-time job. I will not
Uh-huh.
call stable. I will not say stable because we're in a recession and you can lose your job tomorrow. So it's just like, it doesn't look ideal. Like, to be with an entrepreneur is to go on this worldwide journey, like, of whatever that looks like. And
So you want to be with another entrepreneur. Is
yeah, I
that
think
what you're
that makes the
saying?
most sense. It makes the most sense to me because it's
Okay.
not that a person can't have a full-time job. I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that they can't. I'm just saying, will they be able to support me in the way that I need it? And
Okay.
sometimes when you are, if you're in a job that you love and you know it's your calling and your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
sure. But sometimes when you're meeting people, they're doing things for the money and they're not happy. So it's just like you're over here chasing your dreams. You may not be where you want to be all the way. But
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean it can't work. So, like, when I met Boyce, I was just a college professor.
well, that's
I didn't have
still
my business.
right.
I
But
didn't have my business. I never in a million years, not when I met Boyce, when we first started dating. I didn't know what Boyce did for a living. I had no idea.
but I think y'all
But
were a match though, because even when
yeah, but
you
I didn't have.
described it,
I'm a college professor. I didn't do anything. I didn't have no business. But when I met him, or when we started dating, because I've known him almost 30 years. I didn't know what he did. We just talk about stuff that had nothing to do with much of nothing. Just what's up with you. But I didn't start my business until I met him. Until I started dating him. I'm sorry.
but
And
you see how he influenced the dreamer in you.
yeah, so you might influence another person. Why do they have to have? Why
Because
do they have
I
to
don't
be
want
an
to
entrepreneur
change. I
already?
don't. I think like sometimes when men come over here to Jasmine Land, they be concocting an identity that will somehow lead them to increasing their likelihood of getting me. But then when they get me, that energy or whoever they are or whatever they had to put on, they can't sustain it because it was never them in the first place.
They can't sustain it. So they think that you just want a certain kind of man in that. So you putting off that energy.
What kind of energy? Because I'm just being myself, talking about God, chicken, and business. The
Gotcha.
only
That's right.
energy,
I forgot about you and the chicken.
yes, the only energy
The
that I
chicken be
got,
coming
that
out
I
of
bring.
nowhere. I've been like thinking, I don't know about this chicken. Okay. This is a good one.
And as they said, unlimited faith, it says, I totally agree with you, Jazz, only because their mindset has to understand why your passion is so important to you without them feeling a lack in your personal life, or they have to be completely secure. Correct. And so for me, in my life, men that have landed me for what, the last, I give it 5 years or so, they have been completely insecure with self. Insecure.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, if I'm completely in love with the person that I am, not on no narcissist stuff, but I love the chicken in me, I love the God in me, and I love the business in me. And by the time you get me, all it is, well, don't you just want to do this? Why you keep going so hard? Why you just can't sit down somewhere? I'm just trying to settle down. It's like, we can do all of that if you understand the calling. Like, sometimes we have callings on our life that are so much bigger than our temporary personal. And what I mean by that, it will feel really good right now if I already had a family, kids, husband. But I also know that may potentially stagnate the purpose and the calling that's on my life if that person is not completely aligned.
You know what? I think you're making it out to be way more complicated than it needs to be. There is nothing wrong with dating somebody and having that person say, all right, good. Take that time to do what you need to do. But me and you, how about we just chill? What's wrong with that? Because how are you going to, no, wait, I asked the question, but I don't really want to answer. The thing is that you're proposing one scenario, okay? But you're participating in a different scenario.
Okay.
So if you're saying that you want to be married and have children and also be an entrepreneur, then at the same time, you can't go around and say, well, don't expect me to sit down. Don't expect me to chill. Sometimes you need what's called harmony in your life. You can go hard, all work and no play. How you gonna, you're gonna be one of those women on TikTok talking about how I've accomplished all of these things and I don't have no man next to me, because you are like, forget you, I'm gonna just go 100% in my entrepreneurship business, and there's no harmony in your life. So I think that there's something to be said for someone that's just like, let's just chill for today. And I think it's okay to carve out time to just chill, and then also carve out time for your business. You have to be well-rounded. So I'm just challenging you a little bit, because you have to put yourself in that energy, that space where you are just married with children kind of space, because it'll come to you once you put yourself in that space. But if you don't put yourself in that space by just Netflixing and chilling and, relaxing a little bit, going hard 24/7 in your business.
Well, Dr. Alicia, they got a big step. Majority of these men, they don't be big steps.
It's not a big step. It's not a big step.
It is like they gotta say, okay, Jasmine, I'm carving out time in my schedule to come and talk with you. They're not doing that.
Well, they're not making it a priority.
So right. So why I gotta prioritize?
Well, both of you make it a priority. You make it a priority for what's important to you, because you want that balance and harmony.
I want the man to lead. I don't want to be the leader in that. I want him
Blessings,
to lead.
peace, and abundance. Blessings to everybody on the live.
Hello, how's it going?
What's your name?
I'm blessed. Dr. Lycan. This is Lycan.
Hey, Dr. Lycan.
Okay.
Yes, I love what y'all talking about. Y'all can continue. I just wanted to chime in with y'all. Y'all talking y'all talking them facts. But what is big stepping? Firstly, if you mind, I don't know if you mind me asking or exposing, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Dr. Lycan, I know, right?
Yeah, that's hard. That's that age, That's that age. But big step.
What's that age? What does that mean?
where you think you could just move every mountain, where you just running on full energy, and it's a good point of life, you know. Definitely, if you're able to lock in and own it and take full advantage, like you're doing, um, you definitely need that companion that's going to be at that same pace. Can't have nobody slowing you down.
Right.
So I
You
feel like
cannot
it's
have
hard.
anyone slowing you down. I think, I think I do remember 28, by the way, and I was very ambitious, and maybe I'm a little more slower now than I was at 28. But I was on it. At 28, I had a master's degree from the University of Chicago. I was seeped into um, my career as a social worker, and I was sitting for my license exam at 28. So I was, studying and trying to. So I was that, but I also had a husband.
I
Hey,
had
talk
one
about it.
before. He ain't sitting
What?
around.
I
He
also had a
vanished in
husband.
there.
Y'all was married, married?
It was an internship.
Her marriage was an internship.
That's what mine was. I didn't get the degree. I just got an internship. So it's
You
like
don't know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I've been in that space where, I have been settled down and, but it's not that I don't want that. It's just a man has to be sound and secure in who he is. And what I mean by that is it's
You got to
okay
know
that
thyself.
it's okay that I be me. And it's okay that you do you.
You got
And
to be mentally whole.
yeah, but that is very far and few between in my age group. A lot of men are just now saying, "Oh, I'm going to practice not having sex by doing the semen retention."
What was
Yeah,
that? My
but you
attention
gotta
went somewhere else. What did you just
you
say?
can't like blend. I hear what you're
A
saying
semen
though.
retention? Is that
No,
what
They're
you
I hear what
just
just
you're
they're
saying
said?
though.
just now like, "Oh, when
No,
I
I
don't
feel what you're saying.
ejaculate, I'll be able to keep more brain cells." They're
No,
just now
yeah, there's
hitting that era.
yeah, yeah.
You got some.
Those no, but those are a little different type of people. You don't want them. Those are the ones that's trying to compete with people like I would say me and the other real men out there. However, there are a few real men out there that are on your level. You just got to chase those that are a little bit above you, but you shouldn't like chase nobody. You should just, go in rooms like that. You know what I mean?
I've
Attract,
also experienced
entertain them.
a person in their 40s and they are really
Oh
nice
no,
and
that's
kind.
weird. No, I don't say to do that. I don't see. And see, right when you do that, people gonna start judging him. They ain't even gonna judge you. You see what happened to Kevin Samuels?
Well,
People, and I don't see nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't do it. But I'm just saying. Oh man, don't. That's why I
what?
said it's hard at that age. When you're like 28 and you on fire, it's hard when you don't come in to it with already having a man, like, and then you go like searching
I
and
ain't searching. I'm sitting pretty. That's why I said I got a big step because I'm chilling. I'm not in no rush. If it take years and years, I'm chilling. You know why? Because I'd rather be completely in my divine feminine doing exactly what I know God has called me to do. And this ain't no, oh, she just following Jesus. It ain't one of them. It's, I know exactly what I was put on this earth to do. And unless a king, not no prince, not no, smaller, a king come beside and he's like, you know what, I'm ready. Let's go and do this. Like, I'm a little different. I'm over here attached to people that are fighting black causes every day. I'm getting hit in restaurants. Like, it's real different over here. As well as like the
are you in
brand,
Georgia or something?
huh?
Where are you from?
I'm from Palm Bluff, Arkansas. I'm a long
Okay,
ways from home.
you got a country accent. That's why
I
I asked.
do, I do. It's in there. I can't really take it away.
Yeah, when to hear.
Right?
Could
So,
y'all hear me
Continue.
talking? I was talking.
oh, I'm
No.
sorry.
You couldn't
No.
hear me? Okay. All right. I had a phone call. So, anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
Continue, Jazz.
Yeah, so I guess it's just like a man that knows who he is, what he does, and why he does it. A man that knows his why. And when I look for or a partner and stuff, or when I'm seeking, or like when I'm engaging in conversation, it's never about his money, because I believe that God is the ultimate provider. Because at the end of the day, your job can go away, business can be a little funny, but if we know that God is the ultimate provider, you didn't come out the womb saying you wanted a job. I'm sorry. You was crying and wanting your mama. But one thing that you are on a quest of is, what is your purpose? And I cannot attach myself who is not sure of their purpose. And what I have been experiencing, not recently, but in the past, is, well, what I do is purposeful, but I'm also not happy. And so when I'm doing what I'm doing and it makes me happy, that erupts people's insecurities and comfortabilities more than you know. By being completely secure in my chickenese, my blackanese, my Guyanese, and
What is
then my
blackanese?
Beechanese.
What is blackanese?
Her sense of blackness. That's what it is.
My
Okay,
sense
wait a
of
minute.
purpose.
Jasmine, I have a question for you. How do you know there's insecurities?
Because they put me down for no reason, when I know that I'm a farmer. Like I literally talk in the mirror and be like, I'm beautiful, like this is amazing, like oh my god, life is great. And then like whatever it is that a person wants to do, like I amplify it. Like the last guy I was talking to, he sold over $15,000 worth of shoes in 3 months. And I was like, I think you should be doing that. And he was like, you think so? I was like, yeah. I wasn't trying to change him, but I also would hear him in his vulnerable moments saying, I'm not completely happy in all of this. So I'm like, well, I'm not somebody that's going to let you settle. So I'm going to encourage you in the gifts that I see on you. It's real obvious. You love fashion, you love shoes, you love all that. So it's just like, I'm going to help you to see the best in you, but I had to learn something. If I'm a coach you, I can't date you.
Ooh,
Well,
why is
I mean,
that?
I don't think, you
Why
know
is
what?
that?
Here's the thing. You can inspire somebody, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean, so many times, okay, so I got a job at a private practice and however much money an hour for my private practice, but they were only giving me half for the money because they took, because it was their business and they were getting 50% of all the clients I was seeing, and I was only getting 50%. So, you know, I had a patient partner who was patient and kind and kind of like, well, you know, if you go into your own, start your own business, you can keep all that money for yourself. And, you know, I had someone with me who was very understanding and very patient and just, I don't know, just sort of influenced me in a way that was influenceable, like kind and nice. And eventually I said, gosh, and I would talk about like, I don't know anything about business. I know a lot. I'm very, you know, I know my content area very well, but business and sales, you have to do sales and marketing. I was overwhelmed. And, you know, my partner, Boyce, he's like, you know what, Alicia, I will pay for coaching. I had a business coach because I didn't know how to, I didn't even know how to set up an Instagram page. I just got Instagram a year ago. You know, I didn't know how to set up an Instagram page. I didn't know how to set up I didn't know what an LLC was or how to do my taxes or all of those things. I knew I was clueless. He could have just dropped me like a hot potato. She don't know what she's doing in business and blah, blah. But he supported me. And I think, you know, don't just throw somebody away just because they don't see it. You know, you have to
And
be
that's,
patient with
I'm
them.
aware, but like I'm a business coach, Dr. Alicia. That's what I
Yeah.
do for a living. I literally build businesses and build people and build brands. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to get around somebody and it's like, I see a gift on you. and I see it real strongly. And then you like, yeah. And then when that person starts to walk by faith in it, then they be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm like, that's okay. I still love you anyway. But I'm about to keep on going. You can just be okay with that dynamic,
So
but
I
if
think
they're
more
not
what
okay
you're
with that.
explaining is greed. Like you're saying, people would normally have greed when they start. Like I'm not getting it. All I kind of hear is like a person really having greed. What happens after you help them and it starts going good? Like
Well,
why do they turn? I'm finding I'm
that's what I'm
having
saying.
confused finding the disconnect.
I feel like those people just weren't my purpose partner. Because if I know that I'm a
Maybe.
that's what I can that's what I attest to. Like we talked about it, Dr. Alicia. The last guy that I was with, I thought he was all that, the bag of chips. If he never did no more, no less, I thought he was all that. He did call me a broke a person because I could not land a job in the engineering department fast enough once I got laid off. Now that in itself is a hot tail mess. And I
It's a hot
told
tail
him,
mess.
yeah. But my thing is, when I got with him, I didn't ask for my job to lay me off. But also, was I in my complete purpose? No. Whenever I am in my complete purpose and I'm still, my income was good. It's just like that person did not want to bear the load of what that looks like on my life, right? Like I have my own apartment, I pay my own bills. I'm not asking for that person to do no more, no less than just a regular dating process. I'm not a gold digger. I'm not trying to take what you have. But at the end of the day, you have to sign up for what comes with being with the entrepreneur. You may not be able to do the 5-star that you could do with the engineering me. We may not be able to fly every single place. But at the end of the day, my heart is very, very kind. But also like I don't know, when I met that person, they was like they just looking for a wife. And they a provider and all that, but out of nowhere they wasn't no provider no more. So it kind of just, were you with me for the engineer and the money me, or were you in it for my heart and like what I come with? So
So
that's
was
kind of
this
like,
person working at the time that he was saying these judgments on you?
yes, has a very secure job.
So he wasn't willing to support you or provide, is what you're saying.
No, and he wasn't emotionally available at a certain.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. That's what I was about to say. If his money wasn't there, then his heart wasn't there.
Correct. So that means we were not aligned, and God had to remove. He'd be so selfish with me. He'd be like, that ain't the one. Take everything.
That's how God is. God is a jealous God. If he love you, he gonna protect you. So
Exactly. Because it didn't make no. I mean, as soon as we got together, I lost my job a month later. But also, we're in a recession, and engineering and tech jobs are the number ones that's like,
what up, Jeezy?
getting laid off.
Who? You know Jeezy? Light
You know
skin?
he big viral. We all viral over here. I know everybody.
What is big viral? What does that mean?
We global. We all over the world.
Oh, okay. Like, okay.
But I will
Yeah.
say, the more vulnerable that I've been on the internet, the more there is a lot of men that are finding me. Okay, but we also have to deal with the context of, I'm 28 and I feel like, I am walking into the season, but it's like you here for the highlight. You were not here when I was at my low. So
Well,
it's
I
like,
mean, okay, so I'm hearing you
They
say
said you
that, but
wasn't with me
you,
when I was shooting in the gym. That's how they say. That's how the young people say it.
yeah,
well, the thing is that, I mean, everybody's got a past, and if you meet somebody new, you can't hold that against. Is this somebody who knew you back in the day and they weren't interested
these
in you?
are
And
these
then,
are completely new people. So my thing
yeah,
is,
so completely new.
I'm a
Hold on.
shiny object right now. You see what I'm
No, Jazz, stop. You are talking yourself out of relationships
I'm being honest.
because you can't hold that against somebody if they just met you. You cannot hold that against that person.
But people are people, and they can be with you when you're winning season, but will they be able to be with you when you may not be winning all the
Well,
time?
time will tell. Time will tell. Don't cancel somebody out just because they happen to approach you at a time when you're at your highest. That's not fair to them. They can't
It's not that,
control
but
when
then
you're
they have
supposed
to
to.
big step, Dr. Alicia. They can't come over here half stepping. They can't. They
Well,
can't
what
come
do you
over
mean
here.
by that?
They
What's a
have
big
to
step to
come
you?
with intentions.
Okay.
And I can tell when a man is intentional because I've had it before.
Okay. Okay. I hear that. But I heard you also say that you weren't with me when I'm low. Now you're going to be with me when I'm high. I
That's
challenge
still,
that because these people
and
didn't
that
know you.
means,
They know you now.
right. So that means be real intentional. Be real intentional.
Don't put that, Jasmine. I think you're putting too much on this. You're overthinking it. And I think a lot of people do this. I do think you may be a little overthinking. We
I
gotta talk.
understand
We gotta
you.
talk
I
because
respect your truth.
you're eliminating. It's like you're coming up with reasons to get rid of somebody. Oh, well, they not with me.
I'm
They with
still
me because
in
I.
communication, but it's also like at the stage there are multiple. So
Yeah,
unless the one will rise to top.
yeah. So I think that's great. The multiple people, you got choices. You're not one of those women that's 100% in their career and not having harmony and balance in their life. You're one of those people who are going to have it all. You can have it all and do it
Yes,
all and be it all, but don't cancel people out for
right.
things they can't control. They
But
can't control if they haven't known you. No, listen to what I'm saying. Don't cancel people out. Don't come up with a reason to get rid of somebody
yeah,
just because you have your own fears, Jasmine.
my only fear, Dr. Alicia, is
Yes.
not achieving my purpose. That's it.
You can,
When
there's
it
no, no,
comes
hold
to
on.
men,
Wait,
we can
let's
fail all
stop,
day.
stop, stop, stop. Let's stop the conversation. You can't not achieve your purpose. There's no choice. You can't not do it. Anything that looks like a setback, that's the purpose of a setback. I've been watching, oh my God. So I'm a Star Trek fan. And I've been watching the new Star Trek. They do a reboot of Star Trek Picard. I've been watching this show
What
Picard.
number is it now? Before you go too deep, what fascinates you about Star Trek? Because I
It's
started to
it's
watch
it's
it, I got very amazed, but it's too long of series, so I can't binge watch it. But I have it here.
yeah. It's just, to me, it's just, out of sci-fi, I think they do it the best. And I mean, I'm talking about above and beyond Star Wars, any of the other sci-fi. um, Star Wars is uncomparable. It compares to nothing. So Picard, I'm watching this. I'm finishing up the season. I'm gonna watch the season finale of Picard, second season, tonight. I'm excited about getting off of here so I can watch it. But the whole thing was, how they do time travel and they go back and forth, and he's got to go back in time in order to fix the future and all of that. And it boiled down to it. And they were like, this man was talking, and he was saying there were things in my life that happened to me, and I didn't know if it could have happened this way. He had what would be a down part of his life. And, eventually the moral of the story was that all of those things had to happen to you because you wouldn't be in the unique position right now for you to help us get back to the future where we needed to be. Like, he was the key that was helping the space-time continuum stay back on track. But the purpose of it, which is why I love Star Trek, is that everything that happens to you is divinely placed. It
I
is
do believe
divinely
that,
placed,
and
and
a
it
lot of
puts you
people.
in a position to become whoever it is. So even if you have a setback, it really isn't a setback. It's what you do with that setback, because there was a lesson that you need to learn in there. There's something that you need to learn so that you can use that lesson to overcome something in the future, so that you can help somebody along the way achieve their goal, or you can therefore heal, or you can achieve your own goal. So you never not in your purpose, Jazz.
I definitely do believe that, but it goes as deep as people thinking that we're in a simulation to seeing that even what you're saying is so evident.
Mm-hmm. Now we're getting into the matrix stuff. Yeah, we
Yeah,
are in the simulation. If you see the world with ones and zeros, then it's not real anyway. So there is no setback because the setback wasn't real. There is nothing to apologize or to forgive for anybody because it never even happened. If we want to take it to the level of Matrix, I can go there with you if you want to go there.
Yeah, you know, definitely. And that's, well, I think, yeah, I do. I love it. I love these type of conversations. It's the beauty of life. You know, it says that. I love it though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I'll leave everybody with that.
Nah. Because you didn't even really get into the. You kind of drift and dabbled. But what did you really like about like Star Wars? Because
I don't like
is it
Star Wars.
is
I
it
like Star
Star
Trek.
Trek?
Yes.
Sorry, Star Trek.
Thank
Oh,
you. Don't get them mixed up. They're two
oh
totally
man,
different worlds.
yeah.
I think Star Wars has its own thing to it, but I'm way more of a Trekkie. Like I'm going to Comic-Con this year.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it.
I don't know if I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz, what is do you know what these two movies are shows? Do you know what they are? Both? Are you familiar with both?
Yeah, so
To
I
know the
want to
difference?
say that I remember Star Wars, and that was more like the galactic energy, and I think Star Trek, uh, like I think it's more like I think the Matrix, but I don't think I've watched it specifically. But again, like I'm more
Man,
Breaking Bad.
let me tell you something. Every black person needs to watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And if
Yeah,
you
I don't know.
haven't,
I
I'm
don't know
taking your
about it.
black card from you.
My black
It's
card is revoked.
beautiful.
My black card,
Mine and Jazz's has
That's
been
my
revoked.
bias.
chicken
That's my
and
bias.
spades determine my black card, Dr.
Damn
Alicia.
it,
Chicken and
Philly!
spade.
Shout
Oh
out,
my
shout
Chicken
out,
and
God.
Crystal! Shout out, Keita! Shout out to everybody joining.
Okay, let me tell you. Star Trek Deep Space Nine with Avery Brooks from Gary, Indiana. I'm from Gary, Indiana. And he's from Gary, Indiana. And it's the best Star Trek series. You talk about a strong black man on television. He's a family man. He is the captain. And he saves the universe. Just Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's the best. It's my number one favorite show.
Okay.
I've seen it like 3 times. I could watch it again. If I talk about it too much, I'll go see it. Watch the whole series all over again. It's beautiful. But anyway, we getting off topic, and I gotta go and hang out with my kids.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, we want to thank everybody for joining us for another episode or installment of Black Love and what that means. And today we talked about Black families. So, I want you all to since you're probably watching this on YouTube, go follow us on all social media channels. We want to thank you so much, Dr. Lycan, and also Miss Jessica for joining us tonight, asking some really thought-provoking questions. And again, next week we'll be back for another episode of Black Love. Talk to you later.